dun.
Maggie King, you're calling me with all these hand signals. You're calling me.
Ice Cube.
She can't hear, thankfully.
Darn it. In that case, in 3, 2. Welcome to Geekodrome. Yo, Spike, I got the Motts.
Yo, Spike, I got the Motts.
I got the Motts.
Geekodrome is the weekly roundtable discussion of all things geek. I am John, and as always, I am joined by Shelle and Stugots.
We're pointing at you.
Who really enjoyed pointing this morning.
We're morning people. 2 out of the 3 Geekodromes are morning people.
But you won't let the...
I'm really not morning. I'm more of whatever the hell I get up, I'll function.
Oh, really?
If I had to get up at 3 a.m., I'll get up at 3 a.m. and I'll function. If I had to get up at 2 in the afternoon, I would do that too.
But why were you not letting the puppy point as well?
Yeah.
The puppy wanted to point.
Trying to get me to toss her phone here.
Play with me. Stop looking at that stupid computer.
Stop looking at yourself and those 2 strangers.
I don't know them. They don't give me ice cubes.
No. That's
It's all about the ice
though.
cubes.
Yeah.
So, I got back from my vacation. I did some shopping last week.
Did you buy artwork for that wall?
No, I have it on every other wall except this one, just to annoy you.
Hey!
Doesn't it? I just think it looks silly that you have a white wall behind you with nothing on it.
Because it's behind me. I'd like to have the art where I can see it when I'm sitting and working.
And but we have viewers, so
yeah. Stugots has a lovely curtain and a lovely Afghan.
Yes, that my grandmother knitted. It's a king size comforter.
It looks very nice, and of course the lamp as well.
The lamp.
I've got this lovely leather couch.
And a little mess on that table behind you.
That is books. Books are a mess that are allowed. Love books in this house.
So that's why I have.
Because reading is fundamental.
It certainly is.
I store my books in bookshelves. It simplifies things.
Yeah, but then you just forget about them. But if you have them out and about, you'll always pick one up.
Yeah.
And what? Just start reading from the middle?
No, these are.
I have artwork on the wall behind me.
This
you
is
guys can see because I'm sitting by the window, but
Joy of Photography book, so you can just pick it up and look in the middle. Yes, John.
Yes.
You smug smart ass.
Yeah, I have art
That's
books
exactly
here.
right.
Where?
On my bookshelf.
Oh. Well, you set them up on a line on the couch.
Because then if they're on a line on the couch, then I can't sit on the couch.
Sure you can. You can do whatever you want. You have no limits, baby.
Only those limits we impose upon ourselves.
Yes.
So, yes. So, as I was about to say, I went shopping, and I wandered past the toy aisle, and the Justice League toys came out last week, beginning of August.
For the movie?
For the movie, yes.
That comes out, what, November?
November, yeah.
Is that normal for stuff to come out that early?
Well, the Thor Ragnarok stuff is out as well.
Okay, I'm just curious. I don't know how that stuff works.
So yeah.
Are they the Funko things or like real like?
Well, I saw a bunch of different things because the Lego sets were out, the action figures, the big 12-inch dolls, whatever.
Oh, okay. Everything.
So yeah, I mean, I know that Star Wars they have their big Force Friday thing in September. They come out in December, so I guess it's around the right time frame.
Okay.
But the thing that annoyed me is that every single version of these not only had Superman, but they featured Superman. So it's just,
so they're killing the twist.
It seems like that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because I mean, yes, they left him out of the trailer, but like, what is there if you know he's going to be in it? Like, why are there no surprises?
We can't have surprises anymore. We live in the gotcha time.
Yeah, I mean, everybody wants to be the first to say, I got it on the internet.
Yep, I called it. And it's like, shut up. I mean, wrestling's no different. Wrestling used to be awesome when there would be a surprise or let's say the heel turn would happen.
Ooh.
Like something like one of the best ones, obviously, Hulk Hogan joining the NWO. which was almost spoiled by the commentary team. Shawn Michaels turning on Marty Jannetty. No one saw these things coming. It was teased, and it builds up suspense. Really happened in today's world, and the perfect example is Chris Jericho when he makes his returns. They're always supposed to be surprises. Well, like fans have gone so far as to like follow him around, like days before it's rumored that he's coming back, to ruin a surprise because they want that on their Twitter feed. You know,
Hey.
like they want to be able to say, "Hey, I did this." One of his returns, he actually went so far as to fly to Hawaii for 2 days before and take pictures, and then the WWE corporate jet or private jet, whatever they chartered, flew him back to a private airport and he had to hide because fans are that crazy with this stuff.
That's absurd.
And
so did that one work?
Well, we're fans and we care. Everyone wants to be the one to say, "I didn't get got. I wasn't fooled." But it's part of it.
They want the views and the retweets and the subscriptions and the follows.
Yeah,
this guy's got some inside knowledge about Chris Jericho. We better follow him.
Yeah.
Well, wrestling, I mean, has had the dirt sheets for decades that have tried to spoil things like that. You know, and we don't. Just the Observer and whatever else, and it's always been like, we're better than you, we know more than you, we're smarts, and it's like, no, you're marks just as much as anybody else. You just have an audience for it.
And movies are no different. They have to give everything away in the trailer out of fear that people aren't going to come see the movie.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what's the last big twist, I guess, in movies that like wasn't ruined?
Sixth Sense?
Maybe.
That's what I was thinking, even though it was ruined for me on the radio.
Are you kidding?
You listened to Opie and Anthony back in the day. You know what they were like.
Oh, you know what? I did not listen to them then. I only listened to them when they came on XM.
Okay.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Because I had no stations up here. No internet, no stations. So I had to get XM, and then they were on. So, yeah, okay.
Yeah, Opie ruined that one. But
Snape killed Dumbledore moment for the Opster.
But to be fair, I didn't see it like when it first came out. I saw it like a month or two later.
Gotcha.
So, it was a lot more time for it to get ruined.
I'm trying to think anything else after that.
Look, there are people who will see a movie opening night just so they can go back home and go on their Facebook and post spoilers. A couple of my friends did that before the last Star Wars movie came out. And it was like, well, you don't, and it was like, well, it's your own fault for waiting to see it. It's Friday morning. The movie came out it started Thursday night at 10:00. Some people have like jobs, where you can't,
families, whatever.
Do that.
But we have a friend who relishes in ruining everything.
George?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's because there was one time, whenever one of the shows, I want to say it was Game of Thrones. I could be mistaken. It was like Tuesday, and he posted about it, and one of his friends gave him shit about ruining it. He's like, dude, it's 2 days later. So now he does it by the minute for anything big.
Oh, yeah. And if he sees a movie before...
Yeah.
If he sees a movie before it's released, though, then everybody's fucked.
I'm so glad George is not my friend.
If he ever gets that capability, he will ruin everything.
Yeah. It's a problem. Like, I want to be surprised. I want to have twists and turns.
I love that. I love when I don't see something coming.
Oh, yeah.
Like the Crying Game.
Nobody saw that coming.
No one saw that coming.
No, never. That was the best one. But, yeah, now they're all, George is out there ruining people's lives, apparently. But if it wasn't George, it would be somebody else.
Well, even like the last Harry Potter book, people were like rushing to post spoilers. It's like, well, why don't you just let me enjoy the book? Because most of the people who are doing it don't read Harry Potter anyway.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I just want to beat the shit out of you because you're ruining my enjoyment for no reason. Like, it's not like you're going to read the books anyway. You're not getting enjoyment from the books. You're just getting enjoyment, ruining it for everybody else.
When a long time ago, when I was on one of these forums that was, just filled with degenerates, when one of the Harry Potter books came out, they went to these where these kids were standing in line, and these kids just leaned out the window and screamed, "Snape kills Dumbledore," and then the page number, and they videotaped it, and you just saw all these like crestfallen little faces that they had spoiled that Harry Potter book. What was that, the fourth one? Was that the Half-Blood
That's the
Prince?
last one. Book 7, last book.
Yeah.
Deathly Hallows? No, Deathly Hallows is 8. Snape doesn't kill Dumbledore in the last one.
Oh no, sorry. Snape
Next
killed
to the last
Dumbledore in
one.
the 6th one. You're right. Sorry.
Is that not Azkaban? Is it the Half-Blood Prince?
Half-Blood Prince is 6th. Yes.
So that was the one. Whenever that was, 2000.
Yeah, that's like.
I'm gonna guess 6 or 7. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that that's been out for so long already.
I know. It's been out for forever.
Well, I mean, there's already talks of rebooting the movies, but
no, not rebooting.
I've heard talks of it. I don't think they're actually going to do it anytime soon. Instead, we're going to have the Broadway play, which already ran in London.
I would rather. I didn't love Fantastic Beasts, and Where to Find Them.
Beats on beats on beats.
I thought it was a little too. I just thought it was. I don't know. I just didn't like it. Did you like that one, John?
So I rewatched part of it last night because it was on right before Game of Thrones on HBO.
There you go.
And again, I just feel like the movie falls a little flat for me. Like,
okay, good.
You don't have. I mean, the characters aren't as robust. The plot isn't as strong. I mean, it's pretty, but it's like even the big twist at the end, you're just like, who cares?
Yeah, I thought that also.
Response.
I think the kids in the original one, I think the kids really, there's just something about the chemistry of those 3 children together, and the characters that were way more interesting to me than the Fantastic Beasts one. The only thing I did like at the Fantastic Beasts is going into the bag, and I'm like, why are we waiting till the last 5 seconds to go into this bag? It would have made the whole movie so much better had they done that from the get-go.
I think they could have built that up better. I like the idea of waiting. Like, don't front load everything, but like make it sound like the bag is magical. Build up
to it.
Yeah.
Like the bag is magical, and there are creatures in it. And that's all they kind of say. So that, like, when you go into it, it's like, oh, wow, I didn't know this is what they meant.
It's a world. Yeah. Like, I would have liked to have heard more about that. Oh, I guess I didn't love the cast. It missed for me, too.
Mark.
Yeah, and none of the characters had a sense of wonder.
No, because they weren't children.
Well, they're all, it's like, people in their 20s and 30s, like, who grew up with it. And it's like, oh, it's just commonplace, except for the one, character who wasn't magical. But even he's just like, wow, okay.
Yes.
Although I did like him, but it was just not that.
Are you talking about Fogler?
Yes.
Yeah, he's good in everything, basically.
No, my favorite part is when the teacher is taking attendance and going, Fogler.
My best friend's neighbor's cousin's former roommate saw him pass out at the 31 Flavors last night.
That girl ended up playing Buffy, right, in the movies. Was that Christy Swanson?
No.
Oh, I thought it was for a minute.
No, I want to say she ends up playing the girlfriend on Charles in Charge.
Yes.
Charles in charge
of my days and my nights.
I want
Charles in charge of me.
What a great tune.
Yeah.
And it was a fun show to watch as well.
Yeah. Both versions.
Yes. So there's a whole topic unto itself. Sitcoms that completely just drop the entire cast and replace them.
Well, at least they wrote it in and made it part of the storyline.
Yeah.
Comes from vacation and he's like, where's everybody? I don't know.
Oh, he was in charge of a new family? Is that what happened?
Yeah, the house was sold, and while he was on vacation, and he comes back, and he has no idea where he's going to be living, or where he's going to be doing where he's going to stay. Nothing. He doesn't know anything. No job, no home, and then he had to convince the Powells that they needed him.
Wow.
So the new family take him on as the in-house babysitter.
Yeah.
Same house.
Same house.
Yeah, same house.
New family.
It's hysterical.
Yeah.
So only him and Willie Ames stayed on.
Yes.
Gotta have Willie Ames. That's kind of like what they did
and
with,
Travolta's sister too.
Ellen? Was it Ellen?
Yes.
The one that was in
Ellen Travolta.
The one that was on Happy Days.
I think that was Ellen. Dark hair?
Yes, it's Ellen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just funny when something like that happens. Yeah, I'm sure. I know there are other shows that are like that as well.
Well, they did
All
that
right, it's a topic.
Valerie's Family, right? The Valerie Harper show. I mean, it had
because they wrote her out.
in the title. It's her show. They were just like, no, here comes Sandy Duncan.
She got into a big battle with Jason Bateman over who was the real star of the show.
Well, it's Valerie's Family.
Well, no. First it was just Valerie.
Was it?
Valerie.
Yeah, first it was Valerie.
Then it was Valerie's Family. Then the Harper family.
Then the
Hogan's. Sorry.
the Hogan's.
Yeah.
So you do have to.
Let me tell you something, brother.
That would have been hysterical if they had the whole
The real star of the show, the 24-inch pythons, brother. We hanging and banging.
We're going to the gun show in this episode, brother. Oh, fuck, that would have been hysterical. That would have been very funny.
It would have been. They never seem to have went there.
No, what the fuck?
Well, it's an opportunity. It was the height of his popularity, too.
Was it? I thought it was after.
I thought wasn't that like 87? That show was out?
I'm going to have to look now.
Man, Jason Bateman's had a really long career. I know it just had some of a resurgence in the last 10 years, but holy crap. Guy's been around since Silver Spoons was his first show.
Oh, was he a friend on Silver Spoons?
Yeah. He was an ancillary character. Then from there, he got It's Your Move, one of my favorite TV shows.
Yes, I don't know that one.
That lasted, I want to say it lasted a season and a half. And maybe 2 years. I don't know.
Silver Spoons is where we got Alfonso Ribeiro, too, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Well, he was the tap dance kid before that, but then
Yeah. On Broadway.
Yep.
I loved Silver Spoons.
Well, you skipped. Jason Bateman was originally on Little House on the Prairie.
Oh.
Oh, wow. He must have been a real secondary character. Because I
was a tiny lad. Yeah, because I remember a lot of that.
James Cooper Ingalls.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Oh, was he like one of the
maybe it was Laura's kid?
Kids?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. Because he was only on the 81-82 season, so I don't know if that's the last one.
When Laura married Alonzo.
Manley
was his nickname, yeah.
Or was he when the blonde, the blind blonde girl?
Yeah.
Was she their kid?
Mary, right?
Mary.
She marries the teacher from the school.
Yes.
And then one day ends up not being blind anymore.
And then he leaves her.
Of course. She's like, I can't be with you, you blind bitch. Get out of here.
I know.
Constantly feeling for everything. Come on. Stop it.
He put a hot iron in her way
Yeah.
as she was trying to get to the rolling pin, just as a joke. That cruel motherfucker.
He was an ass.
He really was.
He'd be like, hey, hand me the sugar. He'd give her the salt.
Yeah, exactly.
Cruel fucker, man.
Really, really was terrible. Those are the
Putting
dark
Tabasco
days.
sauce and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I must have missed that episode.
That was the whole 82 to 83 season.
Yeah, it was really dark.
And then Mr. Edwards came over and popped him in the fucking jaw, and son of a bitch woke up blind again.
Yeah. And dickless. I believe they chopped his cock off.
That'll teach you.
That'll learn.
But they didn't
you.
tell him. He kept feeling down there, like looking for it.
Don't mess with Mary Ingalls.
Okay, you're done.
I don't know that we can top that.
No.
No. Yeah, you know, Jason Bateman, he did Silver Spoons, It's Your Move, Teen Wolf 2.
Oh.
Yeah, Teen Wolf too.
Then Valerie. Some movies like Necessary Roughness after that. Some TV shows that I don't think any of us watched. No. And then really his resurgence starts with Dodgeball.
You know. Oh, yeah, Dodgeball.
No,
oh, my God.
Came first.
Oh, man, he was awesome in Dodgeball.
Yeah. But yeah, then like it seriously begins with after that Juno. And then Tropic Thunder he's in. Actually, he only had a small part. So never mind that. And then, yeah, and then he's just in everything. Arrested Development.
Smoking Aces. Is he in Smoking Aces?
He is in Smoking Aces.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
That was a good movie.
A big shoot 'em up. It was nice.
Yeah, it's a fun, just straight, just action shoot 'em up.
And sequel too, right? Plot. There was a sequel.
There was.
I
still haven't seen
the sequel. See, for me, he became. It was a resurgence for me. Personally, noticing him again was Arrested Development. Like I just thought, Jesus, he's funny.
Yeah,
he's good in this. And then I just started seeing him everywhere again.
Yeah, well, that's what really made people like the people who do the casting take
casual and stuff. Yeah, I mean, in The Horrible Bosses, he's funny in all of these movies that aren't necessarily great.
I haven't seen all of these movies.
Identity Theft, which I wasn't crazy about. He worked it's like when he's on screen, he's enjoyable.
Yes.
I like to see people that I've always been a fan of, and it's like, oh, you're successful. It's I like to see that.
And he's good at being funny about being uncomfortable. Like you know what I mean? That
without making the audience
character.
uncomfortable.
Yeah. Kind of great.
Oh yeah, no, I'm a fan.
Like when people talk about chopped off penises, some people in the audience might be like, ooh, but you make it funny, and everyone's like, chopped off penis, blind guy can't find his dick.
Everyone should have one.
Everyone should happen to everybody who's blind.
Oh Jesus!
Good stuff.
Always. So, we were talking about surprises in movies, weren't we?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But,
like an hour ago.
Well, it hasn't even been a half hour yet.
It just feels like it.
Oh, you like to draw it out. What can we say? But yeah, we're saying that, like, I want to be surprised again when I watch TV, when I watch movies.
Yes.
And it's so rare. Like, so much is just ruined too easily, or people go out of their way to ruin the crap.
Speaking of something like getting ruined, I never watched the show, but I pay attention to like fandoms and stuff like that. But Mad Men, around I want to say season 2 or 3, there was like a blogger who put in her theory as to how the show would end, and it was again from someone who wasn't a fan of the show, who never even really watched it. Reading the blog post about how the main character was D.B. Cooper, the infamous bank robber, and it got to producers somehow, and then supposedly they had to change the ending for the series.
I don't know if that's true.
I don't know if that's true, but like, yeah, that supposedly
John Hamm was supposed to be D.B. Cooper?
Yes.
Are you see, I didn't watch the whole series. Does it end like that?
That was this lady lays out an elaborate blog post about how that's who this is, and then it was, took on life its own, and other people were like, oh, they changed the ending because that lady nailed it in season 2, and people were going to be pissed off.
I don't think that was ever the plan.
I have no idea. I don't know.
But it is. That's like something that became like really like loud like towards the end.
Yeah.
Like people were amplifying that theory, but I don't.
How does it end?
He becomes a hippie.
He's kind of like lost, doesn't know what to do, ends up on a hippie commune because of a girl, and it's there that he comes up with the Coca-Cola "I'd like to buy the world a Coke" campaign.
Are you kidding me?
Nope.
And that's how it ends?
That's how it ends, with the "I want to buy the world of Coke" advertisement.
Boo! Boo! I like the DB Cooper thing much better.
Let me tell you, if that's how it ended, I would have gone and I would have watched every episode.
Yeah! For clues. I would have watched it like it was a lost episode.
Yeah, that's so. Yeah, that's kind of how it ends. I mean, it was a good show. I liked it, but the ending was what it was.
I got weirded out when the girl got pregnant, and then like I don't know, she was pregnant, and then she went and visited a baby, and I didn't know if we were supposed to think that was her baby. I stopped watching. It got a little too weird for me. Elizabeth Moss.
Yeah.
The show gave us Christina Hendricks, so
yes,
true.
well,
yes, curvy redhead.
She was also on Firefly before that. So
yes,
yep.
I was just
I don't think she wasn't on the outfits.
She was quite lovely.
Yeah, but the outfits made it, I think.
She was less curvy in Firefly, I think.
I would agree with that.
She had big boobs, but she wasn't all together curvy.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, even towards the end, like some old pictures where she was in Playboy clothed, like came out and she looked completely different. It was like her in swimsuits or something like that.
Yeah.
So something for Stugots to look up later.
Yeah.
Yay!
Get to Googling.
Yes. Stugots has a new hobby.
Googling?
Googling pictures of Christina Hendricks.
Oh, okay. Yeah. There's another blog out there, and this guy, his name is Reality Steve, and all he does is get contacts with.
Oh, Shelle's internet cut out. Or did my internet cut out?
He's got. I was waiting to hear her finish the sentence, but
I know.
Reality Steve does something.
Reality Steve does something. I guess we're gonna have to listen because she's probably still talking. So we'll have to download the show. Unless she edits this out.
Why would she do that? I mean, we're so witty when she's not.
I know when she does this.
When she freezes.
So Reality Steve does something really cool, apparently. John's looking it up right now to see what it is so we can finish Shelle's sentence.
No, I'm just letting Shelle know she's frozen. But of course, I have to send that message over the internet. So I don't know if she's going to see it.
Yeah, she might not get it. Yeah. And she'd be like, these two dicks aren't even answering me. Why aren't they answering?
She's like, oh, what happened to them? Why aren't they talking to me anymore?
Well, this happens. It's the internet.
It is, but how do we do blind items without Shelle? Am I?
Am I back?
Yes, you're back. All right. I didn't know what happened there for a second.
It's like, what the hell? Are we under nuclear attack?
Not yet.
Did the war start? No one told me?
Guam
I missed the president's tweet?
Guam is still safe.
Good.
All right. We're going to have to...
We're going to have to keep rolling. So...
I'll invite her back.
No, she's gone altogether.
Well, I just kicked her out.
Oh.
And inviting her back. Okay. So yeah. So I don't know. Are we allowed to end the show without blind items? I mean, these are the important questions.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll never know what her hot pick was.
So people not wanting to be surprised anymore, is that due to our attention spans, you think? You think it's just because social media and people want to be in on everything? What's your thoughts?
I think it's a mix of people wanting to be in and people wanting the attention of, being the one to break the news.
Yeah.
It's like, because these websites like rush to spoil. And I could name websites that are like, here's the big twist from this summer's big movie. As soon as they get it.
One of my friends the other day said he hadn't watched Captain America: Civil War yet. So I told him, I was like, dude, you have no idea. I was like, Bucky is really Tony Stark's brother. He's like, what? I was like, that's what comes up in this, that he is Tony Stark's older brother.
Arno Stark.
He's like, how? He's like, wait, how is that possible? He was from World War II. I was like, exactly. And we find out how it's possible in the movie. He's like, I have to watch this. And he's like, this sounds really intense. I was like, it's intense. You have no idea how intense it is.
Yes. All right. I love giving fake spoilers to people like that.
See, I don't mind fake spoilers. It's funny because even when it happens to me, it's like, after the fact, like, oh, son of a bitch, they got me. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. But it's not like they said,
Rosebud's
the sled or Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's father.
Yeah, his father, yeah. Or Kylo Ren kills Han Solo.
Which George was nice enough to ruin.
Yeah.
I kind of hate that because I want to, part of the stories are like roller coasters. You got to hit the lows and you got to hit the highs.
Yeah.
And if you're spoiling like those big moments, you're not hitting the highs.
Yeah.
It's not like, he's been dead the whole time. Oh my God. Luke Skywalker is Darth Vader's son. Oh my God.
I remember hearing that as a kid. And I was like, wait, how the hell is that possible? And then when I went to see the movie, it did lose some of it for me. But as a kid, I guess, as an adult, it would have just ruined that part. I wouldn't even see the damn movie. Probably like, fuck it.
Well, what about like when you read the book first and then see the movie?
It's always different because your imagination is what's painting the picture. So it's like it's definitely bigger for you reading it in the book. Because with a book, there's emotional and a time investment.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't ever feel like it's spoiled. It's more like, hey, how are they going to work this? How are they going to work this on camera?
Yeah, see, I don't see it as spoiled because I already got that high from the book.
Yes.
And now it's just about like seeing how they hit the beats and
then it's also then comparing what I'm seeing as compared to like what I had already imagined it to look like.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if
it's like a whole other thing.
And it's just seeing how they do it.
Yeah.
So, because you just want to see how somebody else's interpretation of what you saw.
Yeah.
So, and it's always fun. Which is why we watch Preacher and Game of Thrones for the initial couple seasons and whatever.
I really enjoy Preacher.
Yeah, I'm really digging Preacher too. It's not
an episode behind. Or maybe 2 episodes behind because last week was a crazy week.
The Her Star episode's pretty insane. I enjoyed that one.
That was fun.
And he becomes a major villain later in the series. That's not spoiling anything.
The way that he passes the last test was hilarious to me. But I can't I saw it coming right at that point. I was like, oh, this is not going to end well. Just because at that point you get what his character is about.
Oh yeah.
When
he said you shoot first, I'm just like, oh.
Yeah.
This is obvious. but it was such a great punchline.
Yeah, it still was. Yeah,
especially
he didn't lose anything.
The way he's just like, you shoot first. Bang, 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 bang. Guy shoots really well. He just takes the gun. Bang. It was just like the performance just had me laughing out loud over something that was just so simple and so obvious.
And the way he celebrates getting the job, throwing the guy off the balcony.
Yeah. One day you could have my job. I can't wait.
I can't wait. That day is today.
Yeah. He just pushes him out the window. It's awesome. And so you just
I'm
know
thoroughly enjoying it.
So yeah. Then he becomes a major villain as it goes.
I'm sure.
I'm not gonna spoil the rest of it, but there's some crazy stuff involving him.
I'm enjoying Eugene's time in hell.
Yeah. Which is not in the comics, so it's different
that's good.
and weird. Hey, we meet Hitler. But there needs to be a little more John Wayne. John Wayne
is what?
John Wayne was the ghost of John Wayne is a major character in the comic, as sort of like Jesse's conscience.
Yeah.
And it's not in the in the show.
I haven't seen that. Yeah.
Like there was one reference to John Wayne in one episode. So, all right.
Well, there's gonna be no blind items this week.
I know. I'm trying to invite her one more time. We might have to
just have hot picks and we'll wrap it up. I guess.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like.
She was just talking about how crappy the internet services up there before the show.
I know. So yeah, we got to get her like real internet up there. We'll run some cables or set up a satellite.
Civilization.
Yeah, really. So this is what happened. We do the show as a morning show. We're tired and the internet falls asleep.
Yeah. All right, so John, what's your hot pick?
Oh, I get to go first for once?
Sure.
All right. Well, this is a first. See, Shelle doesn't stick around, and we have a first. All right, so my hot pick is because I was reading.
We let her go because we talk so much. I feel like she doesn't get enough mic time, and then it's just, and also to me, it's like, well, ladies first,
Sometimes I let you go first, depending what's going. If she has the last word on a topic, I usually let you go first.
Okay.
But usually I'm the one saying it's time for hot picks.
Hot picks.
So I was reading sort of a short story set in a comic book series I liked. So it's going to be my hot pick. It's a little series called Lock and Key.
Oh, I don't know this.
It is written by Joe Hill. You may know his father, Stephen King. And
I don't know him personally.
If you spent more time in Maine, maybe.
Maybe.
And art by Gabriel Rodriguez. And the idea is this family moves into a house, and they find these keys. And these keys, when put into locks, have magical powers within the house. And so, weird stuff starts happening because they're finding like keys that, will make them bigger or smaller. That'll let them open up like somebody's head and look inside.
Whoa.
And all this other weird stuff. But there's also sort of an evil spirit in the well house that the youngest boy accidentally unlocks and unleashes. And with this spirit freed, he wants to do bad things. So it's a fun kind of borderline horror series, borderline like Goonies adventure-y thing, because you have the young boy and the two teenage kids who live in the house with their mother, and the people who live in the town around them in Lovecraft, Massachusetts. So it's a lot of fun. Good story.
Is that a real town in Massachusetts?
No. It's based on the ones that like where I was going to say Stephen King, but not Stephen King. Joe Hill lives.
Okay.
And in the short stories that I read last night, there are pictures of the actual locations that it's based on.
Oh, all right.
Like the cave by the water and things like that. And it's a highly recommended series. It's one that's won a lot of awards. Was almost turned into a TV series once, and I think they're looking to do it again now.
Oh.
So it's one of those that could be a cool anthology overall story kind of things because of what the different keys do and how the house has actually existed for like hundreds of years, and the family has been intertwined with it. And the current generation of the family doesn't know about it because the father didn't tell them. So
Interesting.
yeah, so I definitely recommend you check that one out.
Cool.
And what do you got for me this week, Stugots?
Well, I was actually hoping that Shelle would be here for this because I mentioned something that she was talking about. On Pluto TV, there is a channel called DocuTV, and it's all like biographies and stuff. So the other night at about 3 a about John Belushi. And it was all stuff I pretty much knew about him already. It was really just updates on on all his friends, to me anyway. It was from 2008 when a new autobiography or new biography came out about him. I should say autobiography. And so it was really just an update from all his friends, reiterating some of his greatest stories. So you got to see Dan Aykroyd tell the story about Belushi just walking off the set of Blues Brothers and walking over to someone's house and ate dinner with a family that he didn't know, and took a nap, and they went. Aykroyd went and found them. So it was like that whole aspect of his personality. Which one thing I said I didn't know, which I found out about, was that he was always doing that. He did that back in the Saturday Night Live days. He'd go to a cast member's house on, let's just say, Tuesday, and he'd stay there till Friday. Not because he wanted to be a pain in the ass. It was just he loved being around the people who loved him. And when they went to Chicago to film Blues Brothers, it really was like royalty had come home. So he was the king of Chicago, and every single person who saw them on the street walked up to John as if he was like a long lost brother. Including people would just bring food to the set to feed him. More so the older citizens of the city. So to me, I did find out some stuff, but mainly it was just seeing Aykroyd, seeing Carrie Fisher, seeing what's his name, Stephen Dorff, who played Flounder in Animal House, who recently passed away. All these people, the dad from Small Wonder, who was in Animal House too. Seeing him again, which he looked totally unrecognizable to me. Was really cool, and then just pretty much the entire cast of Animal House talking about John Belushi, and how he was a big star already when they filmed that movie, and at no point did he ever act like a big star on set. He was really trying to make the movie be as successful as possible for everyone else, and then like when a couple of his movies failed, how he took it personally, but he never took success personally. It was always like if something failed, it was because of him. But if something was successful, it was never because of him either, though.
It's an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah. So I just it was really cool to make, and I found it just by accident. I was just clicking around. Like the nights before I start my work shifts, I have to stay up late so that I could sleep next day to prepare. So it's like I will just click around and on my Fire Stick and look and watch just about anything that looks somewhat interesting. So I stumbled upon that on the Pluto TV.
Okay, yeah, I'm just googling to try and get the name of it. The only one I could find was John Belushi, His Final Hours. Was that it?
No, it was well, the way that they had it listed on the channel, it just said biography John Belushi.
Oh, okay. Oh,
but all their biographies are labeled like that. There was one on Richard Pryor, and it said the same thing. So I just think that that's their branding.
Oh, okay. Was it the old biography TV show?
No, I thought so, but it didn't look like that either. It wasn't done like the A&E biographies.
Okay.
It was very slickly edited, and the people, like when they were talking to, let's just say, Dan Aykroyd, it was like a green screen behind them.
Yeah. All right. Because it's something I would seek out. I was a big fan.
I will look
but
and let you know. But the guy who wrote I guess maybe the guy who wrote the book was in it. I'll look for it and I'll send you the info.
All right, cool, and we'll put it in the show notes.
I remember on Ron and Fez they had the author of the book on back then, 2008, 2009.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to remember it. Yep, I'm already looking for it, so I will send you the info.
All right, sounds good. Well, I guess on that note, since we don't have Shelle, we'll just kind of call it a day. But for anyone who wants to find more Geekodrome, check us out at geekodrome.co. Check us out on iTunes. Rate us 5 stars because we're worth it.
We're worth it, baby.
To find us, you can find us on Twitter at Geekodrome Pod and on Facebook at Geekodrome Podcast. I'm John, and I can be found on Twitter at JustJohn. If you want to find the absent Shelle, she can be found at Just2Groovy on Twitter and Gab. And Stugots is at Don Stugots on Twitter. And although it's on the August hiatus, you can find old episodes of The Eat Up on Facebook. Which will
and something new I'll be working on today, actually. I guess that's setting up for as soon as we're done here.
All right, cool. So something to look forward to after this summer. Geekodrome's music has been by First House. And until
Thank you, First House.
Thank you, First House. Until next week, it's been too sweet.
Too sweet.